Welcome back to another video, folks. Today's video, what we're going to be doing is trimming Dwarf Sagittaria. So stay tuned here at Patty's Aquatics. So like I said, Dwarf Sagittaria, Dwarf Sag, you can do the same thing with Vallisneria. What happens is it grows so tall, it kind of goes over each other, and then it blocks a lot of the light out for all the other plants in there. Now it's mostly Dwarf Sag in here, there is some Crip. So I want to trim that down. I usually do it like every 30 days or so. That's usually how fast it grows back up over. Now, it doesn't hurt anything to be growing up like that. I prefer it to be trimmed down so that more light gets down into the tank so I can actually see more of my fish and everything. Otherwise, typically I can only really see in the front of the tank. So that's what we're gonna do today. So first things first, I'm gonna need to take this cover off, and then I wanna scoop some of my duckweed out of here while I'm doing this. If you haven't seen a past video, duckweed, does it suck or not suck? I have duckweed in the tanks, and I maintain by probably scooping it out of my tanks once or twice a week. Well, today's one of those days, so while I'm in here, I might as well get it out of there. So I'll do that, get the cover off, and then we'll come back, and then I'll show you how I cut the Dwarf Sag. So I got the cover off, and I got most of the duckweed out. Never gonna get it all out, but so if you can see, this stuff can grow very tall. That's like, like probably almost 8 inches out of the tank. Now this is a 20 long, so it's not an extremely tall tank, but it will grow, like this one's almost a foot out of the tank. They can grow very tall. Like I've had it in my 75-gallon tank upstairs, and it would get like, I don't know, the tank's 18 inches tall, I believe, and it would be almost like 2 feet on the top of the surface, so it can get long. It'll keep growing and growing. So what I do is I'll take it, I have my trusty scissors here, and I'll trim it down below the surface a little bit. Now, when you cut these, there's always a possibility that there can be some melt back on them. It doesn't happen all that often for me. It really hasn't happened down here. Honestly, you just can't really tell. You cut them and within a couple weeks it's growing back up, and you can't even tell that you cut it. If you cut it down farther below the surface, you'll see the cuts on it, and it may not look the greatest at first, but it will grow and go away, and you won't notice it anymore. So yeah, this is definitely something you should do to maintain this plant. You can overgrow it all you want. It's pretty much like anything in this hobby, it's however you want it. I like it trimmed down so I can get the light in there, so let's get to it. It takes a while, especially when you have this much in here. What I'm trying to do is cut it a good inch or so under the surface, so I have hopefully 2 months before I have to do it again. I mean, it is nice to have a dense population of this plant in this tank, especially with all this fry we got and the shrimp I have in here. Lots of places for them to hide. But like I said, it blocks so much light out. Like, look at that. That's how much I cut off. That's almost like a full plant, and there's still a good 12 inches or so under the surface yet. Well, I think I pretty much got everything trimmed down that I want to get trimmed down. I'll give you a look. So as you can see, I trimmed it all down for the most part under the surface. It's not looping over and laying over the top of the water anymore. So, I mean, it'll probably be like another month and this will be overgrown again, and I'll have to trim it all down again. This is just a little bit of what I cut out of there. It's a lot more than what you think when you just look at the tank when it's got the Dwarf Sag or the Sagittaria over the top of the surface of the water. Now, as you can see, I put the light and cover back on, and there is so much more light in this tank now than there was before. I love the plants and everything, but I like seeing my fish and shrimp too, and I'm sure you do as well. So don't be afraid to trim Dwarf Sag or Sagittaria. It can be cut down successfully without destroying the plants. So if that's something you want to do, don't be afraid to do it. Give it a try. So that's all I got for you today in this video. I hope you liked it. Hit that like button if you did. Subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because you don't want to miss anything. Then as always, thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you next time here at Patty's Aquatics.